So in this video, we're going to do a client interview with a tennis coach out in New York City. He started his ads about 6 weeks ago, and today we're going to have him share his results. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'll have Jermaine here share his screen, show the exact ad we ran for him, all of his Facebook stats, how much he spent on the ads, and all the numbers. That way you can see the behind the scenes of the process. So Jermaine, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and break down exactly how many new clients you've been able to sign in the first 6 weeks of running your ad?
Yeah, so what's up, guys? My name's Jermaine Legrand. I'm originally from Aruba, born and raised, living in Brooklyn, New York. I am a former Division I college tennis player and also a former junior Davis Cup tennis player. Um, Currently working here as a tennis coach in Brooklyn. So in the last 5, 6 weeks, under Mo's program, I've brought in about, I want to say 15 to 20 new clients, running the ads. I think it's been extremely valuable. I didn't think I'll be so honest, I genuinely didn't think it was going to work for me at least. I know he's had success stories with other people where it has worked. Um, but then, I kind of just decided to trust the process because I wanted to, I really love tennis. I love coaching. I love teaching. And I wanted to try something new to see if, I can bring in new clients, and hopefully be able to make a living out of, something that I love. Um, but yeah, super happy with like the results of like the last 5, 6 weeks. I'm still running the ads. I'm still getting new leads like every day, pretty much. And
Yeah, man.
as long as I'm able to, contact them, talk to them, convert them, have a conversation with them, and get them through the door, like I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, 100%. How much were you doing before you joined the program in terms of like monthly revenue, monthly income?
So out of the private clients that I had before the ads, I'd say I was making anywhere between like 1 to 2K a month, just on private lessons, that I was doing outside.
Yeah.
Those lessons I found either through like just word of mouth or referrals from like friends or something like that.
Hmm.
And a lot of those clients, the problem with it was that a lot of them were not very like consistent. Some of them would show up every other week or like, maybe once a month or something. They'll contact me for a lesson, whatever. Whereas now with the ads, I'm able to set like a kind of like a base for my own business where
Hmm.
I'm able to bring in new clients like every week, and maintain them where they're always coming in once a week or sometimes even twice a week. I've gotten
Yeah.
clients that come in twice a week. Yeah.
And how much are you making now that you've added those extra 20 clients in the last couple of weeks?
So I went from between 1 to 2K to now making about like I'd say around 5K, which is an insane jump considering I've only started like 5, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the kicker here is that I'm starting now in the winter time. It's literally December right now. Which is it's pretty cold in Brooklyn right now. Like we're close to like we're in the low 30s, which is very cold. And I'm still having clients come through the door. I'm not really having that many cancellations. And as long as you get on the court, this is what I tell all my clients. Like, if I can get you through the door, get on the court, I can get you warmed up in the first 10 minutes, and it's gonna be like the cold doesn't even exist. So,
Yeah.
super happy about those results.
Dude, happy to hear that. And in terms of like, I guess you were hesitant the first couple of calls we had. I guess now having seen what the other side looks like, how do you feel now knowing your business is consistently bringing new clients and you're consistently growing the income month after month, week after week?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't expect it to work this well for me, especially going into the winter time. Because I started in like late October and I thought that it was kind of gonna be a waste, but I decided to stick with it and try it anyway, just because I'm in the tennis business now. I want to do this. I want to commit to this. And I'm happy with the results now. And honestly, if I could do this well now, in the spring or sorry, in the winter, I'm honestly so excited for spring and to
Yeah.
see what spring and fall or summer can bring in.
Yeah, you're gonna crush it. Now, before joining the program and before running your ads, like, can you describe where you were with the business? Like, how were you getting clients back then? Like, what was the main methods that you were using and kind of like the process behind those?
Yeah, so the first one was just like referrals, like word of mouth. I have a friend who's also a tennis coach who does like freelancing. And he sometimes, like very rarely, will like send me like one client. And but even those one clients will like take one lesson with me and then I won't see them for like another like 3 weeks or something, and then they'll come back, and then it's like, it's good money, but it's not consistent enough. The other thing I was doing was I had a profile on Player Court, which is this website where you can set up a coaching profile and get clients that way. The only problem is that there are a bunch of other coaches on that profile on that website as well, and they offer lower prices sometimes, a lot of times, and it's like, if you were to go on a website like that and you saw five different coaches, um, that are all more or less the same level on paper, right? I'm not saying I'm not on the same level as them, but
Right.
on paper it looks like I'm the same level as them, right? Obviously, you're going to go for the cheapest coach, right? Because you want to save as much money as you can, which was like a huge hurdle for me. Um, and even though I did get some clients from Player Court, like they weren't like the clients that I was looking for, that I was excited to work with. Whereas when I'm working with the ads, I'm getting a bunch of leads every day. I'm able to have a good idea of like who I'm going to be bringing in through the door. I can be more selective about my clients, and I can also set my own rate because on Player Court, for example, they kind of take a cut out of how much you make, right? I would set my rate, and then out of that rate, they would take a cut, and then you apply taxes on top of that, and it becomes a whole thing. So now I'm able to set my own rate, know how much I'm bringing through the door, guaranteed. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's a whole different system that I'm working with now, that I built up myself, and I love working with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just to shift gears for a second, I guess like what really made you want to join the program in the first place, having seen like the results, maybe you've seen a few case studies yourself before you joined, but like what was the real like turning point for you?
Yeah. So, it was my friend Kieran, who's also in the program, who like really, sat down with me and like talked to me about it and like, explained what the program is all about. Explained how he's getting his clients and all of that. Because I'm always asking him, or asking all of my coaching friends, like, how are you getting clients? Are you just
Mhm.
that good of a coach that like you're getting referrals left and right? Or is there a secret that I don't know about? And so he told me about this program, and I even though I had to like sit down and really think about it, eventually I was convinced to, sit down and have a conversation with Mo and talk about it, and think about it and mull it over, and then eventually sign up and do it.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, again, I'm not upset at all. I'm actually, it's quite the opposite. I'm actually very happy with the results.
Yeah.
Genuinely. So and thank you to my friend Kieran for signing me on. I know he's gonna like give me some shit for that, but yeah, like I appreciate
100%,
you,
bro.
Kieran.
Oh, why did you ultimately want to trust us to help you grow your business? Aside from like what Kieran taught you, and by the way, for the viewers, Kieran's one of our clients. He got amazing results in the first like 2 weeks. He got like 14, 15 clients. I guess for you, aside from what Kieran told you, what really ultimately drove you to like trust us to help you grow the business?
Um, Two things. Number one, I wasn't satisfied with how much I was making for one. I wanted to grow a business and have like I wanted I'm the type of person that I like working for myself. So I want, if I'm going to be working for myself, I want to have something that I'm proud of and something that I've built on my own. And so that's the first reason I wanted to be able to build a proper business out of it instead of it just being like a side hustle. And the second thing is that, once I actually sat down with Mo and, started going through the entire process of like what this program would be like, how to bring in clients, how the ads work, how to talk to clients, how to, it almost felt like it was laid out, all the steps were laid out like step by step of how to build a business, but on top of that, how to sell yourself as a coach, right? Because at the end of the day, I know that I'm a good coach, right? And I've been told that many, many times, right? I'm a really good coach. I'm a really good teacher. I'm good at explaining things, but I just didn't have a way of, putting myself out there and letting people know that, hey, I exist.
Right.
I'm here in Brooklyn. Like you can take a lesson with me, and I cost a lot less compared to like all these other places that like, well, it costs an arm and a leg to take a private lesson with someone you don't even know, right? So
Absolutely.
that those are like the two biggest things I would say.
100%. I guess like can you describe the experience, what it was like for you in the first couple of days of joining the program? I guess like the couple of weeks leading up to running your ads.
Yeah. nervous, very nervous because I didn't know what to expect. Um, what I did know was that I was gonna have Mo kind of like guiding me through the whole process. I knew that it was gonna be a slow build, learning how social media works, learning how marketing and advertisement works, learning how to communicate with people, so like basically people skills, um, and also how to just put yourself out there and like be confident with like who you are and what you know and what you're able to provide to your new clients, right? So ultimately, like I said, the first couple of days was just sitting there, like learning the ropes and just building out the social media profile and just starting off from there with the ads.
Yeah. Did you like how the program was super short in terms of like the modules and like the video lessons that you had to watch? Because I know there's a lot of programs out there that like bombard you with like video lessons upon video lessons, and our program is like less than an hour long for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I think the longest video I watched was I think maybe like 30 minutes or something like that. And all the other videos were maybe like 5 minutes at most. And the 30-minute one was just on how to like set up like a social media, like set up your Instagram if you're making like a new Instagram page, how to set it up like properly. So it is valuable to have like a longer video for something like that. But when it comes to like, oh, how do you message a client? If it's just like a 3, 4, 5 minute video, like it's pretty digestible. So all the content itself was very easy to digest. And the learning itself was very short. It didn't feel like I was going to be sitting there for like weeks or like even months trying to figure out, okay, like when am I going to start making money? When am I going to start bringing in clients? It felt like within a week, like I was like ready already out the gates.
Yep.
Right. And that was like the best feeling of like knowing that like, okay, I'm off to the races, like not even a week, maybe a couple days in,
Yeah.
I'm already off to the races and it's just go time.
100%. Can you zoom into like the ad creation process and had that look like for you? Because I'm sure there's a lot of sports coaches who are like, I have no clue how to even put together an ad or how that process even looks like.
Yeah. So here I'm gonna go share my screen really quick to show you what my ad looks like. Um, so can you see my screen?
Perfect.
Okay. So this is my Instagram profile. I made this about 5, 6 weeks ago. After I joined Mo's program. I think it was like a couple days in.
Hmm.
Um, so here we have like my ad post, which I'm gonna go into in a little bit. This is my pin post where I'm showing a couple of photos with me and some of my clients and some of my like success stories. And this is kind of like my personal bio with like my own information that you can read into. And these are a bunch of like videos that Mo helped me make for my profile, and also some videos that I've made myself for my own profile, right? So let me just quickly run through the ad so you can watch it. If you're a tennis player living in Brooklyn, New York, over the age of 30, and you're tired of losing matches and you want to improve your game in the next 4 weeks, then listen up. My name is Coach Jermaine. I'm a professional tennis player and I've helped hundreds of players improve their game, increase their confidence, and play to their true potential. So if you want to win more matches and take your game to the next level, then message me the word tennis and I'll see if I can help. My private training sessions are designed specifically to improve your technical, physical, mental, and tactical ability on the court so you can play at your best every single time you step on the court. Our goal is to eliminate your weaknesses and increase your strengths so you can see actual results in the first 30 days. So if you live in the area and actually want to improve your game, then message me the word tennis and I'll see if I can help. Yeah, so as you can see, that was my ad video. So it's currently running on Instagram. If you were to like scroll through your feed, you'll probably run into my ad if you're into tennis content. You can even see that I have 44 comments on there. It's just people. So even though the ad itself says to like message me the keyword tennis, people will like comment the word tennis as well. So then I have to go through the ads and like filter out like all of the people that sent me the keyword tennis and then like have them message me or me go after them myself because I know that
Yep.
they're interested, right? Like if you're going on an ad and like posting the keyword, I know that you're interested. So even if it's on the post, I'll go after them.
Absolutely, bro. How important do you think it was like to set up your Instagram page and not just run the ad straight away? Because like most sports coaches, this is probably what they do is like they throw their flyers out there, whether it's like handing them out one to one or like calling people and like begging for those referrals. how important do you think it was to like position yourself and then go ahead and like let people know you exist?
Yeah. So one thing I will say is that your social media page kind of serves as like your business card in a way, right? The same way how you would think of like an influencer where if you were to go on their page and you saw that they had like 1 million followers, you know that this is like their main profile. This is like how they get all their connections, how they post all their videos, how they get like referrals, how they, this is like their business card, right? So basically, I wanted to create a separate Instagram page aside from my private one, and I wanted this to be specifically built for building a business, right? And I want my business to be centered around tennis and what I provide as a tennis coach. And so I think it's way more valuable to have something that people can search up rather than you walking up to someone and being like, "Hey, I'm a tennis coach, by the way. You want to take a lesson with me?" It's like they don't know you, first of all, and secondly, they don't know what you provide, right? Because if you think about it, anyone can just walk up and say, "Oh, I'm a tennis coach," right? But how good are you really, you know?
Right.
So having a business page like this where people can see you performing, see you giving lessons, see you playing yourself, right? Giving instructions, teaching, all these things are like so important and so valuable when it comes to building your business, especially in tennis. And I could imagine any sport really.
Yeah.
Um, so it's one of the most important things if you want to like break out of the cycle of like, handing out flyers or like, just word of mouth.
Absolutely, bro. Do you mind actually sharing like the some of the numbers behind the scenes for like the ad stats and like kind of like walk us through like how that looks like?
Yeah. So right here, I have this is the ad that I'm running right now. It's the same one that we just watched. So if we scroll over here, we can see the cost per result. This number basically means how much I paid for each lead that came in through the ad, right? Meaning, um, in the video it said, message me the keyword tennis if you're interested in tennis lessons, right? So this basically means this is how much I spent per person that messaged me the word tennis that is interested in tennis. And these are like these aren't like bots. These are like real people like living in this area that are looking for tennis lessons. And
Yeah.
then it's up to you to like have to talk to them, message them, and build that connection with them so that you're able to get them on the court and give them a lesson, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Like, yeah, go ahead.
it's really cool that, you got 141 messages, which means 141 people reached out to Jermaine, and then you spent a total of $635. Like looking at that huge number, do you feel like, because I'm sure there's a lot of sports which would feel so much resistance because like I can't believe just Jermaine spent $600 in the last 6 weeks spending on his ads. Do you think that was justified by the clients you got, or do you think that was like a crazy number that you never thought you'd be investing in the first place?
Yeah, so obviously it might seem or like look like a scary number, but if you really think about it and break it down, um for example, me, I charge anywhere between 100 to $125 per lesson. Um and so even if I get just one client, right? So this is $635 over 6 weeks, right? Even if I get just one client out of all of these 6 weeks, right? If I charge that one client $125 every week, right? After 6 weeks, I've already made what, $750 in 6 weeks if I give them one lesson a week, right?
Yep.
$750 from just one client, right? I've already pretty much made up all of the money that I spent on this ad for 6 weeks off of one client in 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if you're running this ad and you're getting two clients or three or four or five, right? In my case, I was able to get 15 clients out of this, right? So the money that I made up from all of the clients that I made and all of the money that I collected from those clients, it more than enough paid for this expense of running the
Yep.
ad, right? Like you have
100%.
like if you think about it, at the end of the day, if you're trying to really build a business, advertisement is the best way to do it. And you have to pay for advertisement, right? Advertisement isn't something that's free. But it is
Totally.
something that definitely works. And this is something that I will never doubt. I will never take it away from anyone. If you are running ads, like if you're running good ads, it will bring in clients. Like that,
Yeah.
that's just the bottom line.
And just to zoom in on what you said, it's like this was basically a free ad. Like you got paid to acquire customers because one of those customers paid for your ad spend, and then the remaining 14 clients you signed from ads, kind of like were free clients that came in from the ad, and then the five other ones, just to like put the numbers out there, were from organic, which we don't really count as from the ad directly. So it's really, really cool. Can you actually go into like the behind the scenes of like what happens when they message you the word coach and then like the process you take them through, and maybe you'll kind of like share the insights about like the sales psychology or like the framing that you use within the conversations?
Yeah, so this is my profile. So I've pretty much spread out my messages from leads. So all of these are leads. These are like all real people. Some of them are even verified, right? Like because they're just like I guess they're like more popular or whatever. These are all real people that at some point I've contacted, right? And you can even tell by the date. Like I've had people talk to me today in the last 24 hours, right? This is what one, two, three, four, five, six, like almost like 9 to 10 people I contacted within the last 24 hours regarding tennis lessons, right? Um, and yeah, I mean, this is what it kind of looks like. And so if I were to go through, let's say, uh, right here, right? So this is actually a client that I closed last night. I'm not even joking, last night. Um, so I kind of just went through, he messaged me the keyword tennis. I kind of just went through the saved replies or like the scripts that that most helped me set up. And I was able to run through the scripts and basically build a conversation with them and learn about them, right? So I messaged them, "Hey, what's up? I appreciate you reaching out. Do you have any tennis goals right now?" And he said, "I'm a beginner who's taken a few tennis lessons before, and I'd like to improve overall and build a more consistent rally." I said, "Okay. So we can definitely do that. How many times are you looking to train and where exactly are you based?" They told me once a week. They said they're in downtown Brooklyn. Um, and I don't think this is their address, but it's like nearby. I told them where I'm based, and then they said, and then we got into like a conversation of like what location works best. So I'm just gonna skip through that because it's a long conversation. At the end of it, we pretty much set up a phone call where he gave me his contact number, right? We set up the phone call, got on the phone, and then after the phone call, I pretty much closed that client. And I'm actually going to give that client their first lesson on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, once again, this is a client that I got how long ago? Last Saturday, right? So last Saturday is when they contacted me for the first time. That was only like 5 days ago, right? And even though it was a slow burn with this one, because sometimes some clients will take longer to respond, whatever, I did manage to close them as a client, right? And that's the bottom line. If you're able to communicate with them back and forth and get them on the phone and close the client, you just made up a little bit of revenue that would cover this expense, right? Imagine that client that I just showed. I closed them as a client for 6 weeks, right? Imagine for 6 weeks, I charged them $125. I've already covered my expense for this ad in 6 weeks, right? Now, and that's just one client. Imagine all of the other clients that I've gotten over the last 6 weeks, right? How much revenue I've made that is pretty much all profit, right?
Yeah.
Because all it takes is one client to cover your ad expense, and then the rest of it is just profit, like Mo said.
Yeah. And the beauty about that is like when the next month or the following month comes along, you still have those clients who are paying you week after week, month after month, as long as you're a good coach, of course. And I guess for you,
Mhm.
like, how important was it to be a good coach and yeah, be able to actually retain those clients?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the first time lessons, obviously you want to put your best foot forward because it's one thing to have all of these videos posted, have a really good phone call, but it's another thing to actually produce the product that you've been advertising, right?
Hmm.
So it's important for them to know that, I am a good coach. I know what I'm doing. And what I like to do personally is ask for feedback, right? I like to take time or give my client time to ask me questions.
Hmm.
Not even about like, um, if they have a question about a specific thing. I'm just asking them if they enjoyed the lesson, right? And little questions like that go a long way, especially with people that are like unsure of themselves. Give them the opportunity to like communicate with you and give you feedback, right? If I had a if I was a student myself and I went up to a coach and I felt like they weren't giving me the opportunity to give feedback, I would feel like that they're just trying to feed me or convince me what they know as the truth. Whereas when I'm giving people the opportunity to ask me questions, I want them to feel like I know what I'm doing because I'm able to answer all of their questions very concisely, right? I'm also able to break down everything that they ask in a very easy way, easy to digest manner. Um, and all of my clients appreciate that. And at least through the ads, I haven't had any clients that have dropped off.
Yeah.
All of my clients have said that they want to take another lesson. So, you know,
Hey, that's beautiful. And I guess like before we started the interview, you were telling me about like how your next week is going to be one of your biggest weeks in terms of like I guess total revenue made, but also like being able to stack your calendar. How do you feel now that knowing now you can just basically generate leads left and right?
yeah, I mean, let's say like 2 months ago, something like that, 3 months ago, I kind of like the way I would do it is I have Google Calendar where I schedule all of my lessons. And about 3 months ago, I would look at my calendar and I would think I have a lot of gaps between like lessons, right? Like let's say like I give a lesson on Monday and then the next one is like on Thursday or something, right? Like
Hmm.
that's a pretty big gap. It's 3 day gap. Whereas now it's like I'm giving at least 2, 3 lessons a day, right? Like maybe one, maybe two a day, but it's like I know that I'm gonna get one or two a day, right?
Yeah,
Compared to how it used to be, where it was like one client every 3 days or every four
right.
days or once a week or something like that, right? So,
Do you mind
um,
sharing that actually, just so you can pull up like maybe if your Google Calendar on hand?
yeah. So this is what my schedule looks like right now, going into next week. So this is like the end of the week. So my weekend right now, I have 4 private lessons coming up. Um, these two, so Gareth is literally the one that I just showed you guys.
Hmm.
The brand new client that I just signed. So I literally have my lesson with him this Saturday, December 13th. And then this guy right after him is also a brand new client that I'm about to give a lesson for the very first time. Um, this one also came from the ads, and this client was with me from Player Court, but I managed to convert them over to a private client. So even
Nice.
though I'm moving away from Player Court, I'm still retaining all of my clients. It's not like they finished all their lessons on Player Court and they said, okay, goodbye. It's like they're
Right.
staying with me because they see the value in me as a coach.
Yeah.
Um, and then so this is next week going in. You see how many blue and orange I have now? So this is 4 lessons on Sunday. This is 3 on Monday. My Tuesday still needs to be filled. I haven't filled that out yet. My Wednesday, my Thursday, my Friday, and then my Saturday, right? All like my schedule is like actually packed now. I'm making maybe like $400 a day already, right? Which is a pretty good number. And then on the 21st, so on the 21st, I'm actually leaving on vacation. So this is gonna be like my last day of giving lessons. But this week so far, like I'm gonna be closing at least like $2,000 at least this week, right? And like we were just talking about just now, we talked about how my revenue went from 1K to 2K, up to like 5K. This week I'm making $2,000, right? If you were to consider this revenue over a 1 month period, I just made $8,000, right? Which is like the highest I've ever made. And mind you, the craziest part about all of this is that it's winter time, right? This is the period where we're expecting the biggest drop off of clients. Even so, I'm still able to maintain all of my clients and then add some to that, right? This person, Ali, right here, brand new client, never given them a lesson, but they're willing to do it in the dead of December, right? It's freezing cold. They're still willing to come out because I've proven myself on the phone that I'm willing to give them a lesson and teach them and show them that I'm a good coach. And I'm still getting brand new clients every other week. Beatrice is a brand new client. I've never given them a lesson, and it's upcoming, right? So my list is literally filling up every week.
Dude, that's beautiful. Why don't you actually go ahead and unshare your screen? I'm gonna ask you a few more questions. I want to respect your time as well. I
Mhm.
guess for someone who is on the fence and is hesitating about joining this program or feels unsure if it's the right thing to do, because like you had that same feeling in the beginning, you were nervous, you were scared to do it. I guess what would you tell them having seen what's on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, I was exactly where someone who's watching this would be right now, which was just feeling uncertain or feeling, you know, unsure of themselves or unsure of this program or maybe scared of the dollar amount that it costs to, get started or invest in this. Um, One thing I will say with absolute certainty, and I'll even look in the camera when I say this, this the ads do work. I can promise you that. Hand to God, I could promise you that the ads do work. Um, it's more about committing to it and just being sure in your skills as a tennis coach, at least in my area. If you're a soccer coach or a boxing coach or any kind of coach that you are, it's more about believing in your skills, as opposed to and that's something that I had to learn myself, right? Like that's one of the things that I question about myself. Am I a good enough coach to be able to like invest into a program this big and this, pretty much starting my own business, right? Like if you're not sure about your business and your product, then it's probably not the right fit for you, to be honest. And that's completely okay. Like no one is faulting you. Um, but I love this sport. I've been doing it my whole life. I'm committed to doing this, which is why I decided to pull the trigger on this. And yeah, I mean, if you have any doubts, like you could reach out to me and talk to me. We could like have like an authentic phone call about it. Like you can call my phone number or text me or whatever. Um, and you know, have as many conversations as you need to about this before you lock in on it. But ultimately, if you do, like you are gonna see results. Like that is like I was on the fence, but now I'm convinced, and now I've made all this money and I've built a business out of it. So, take all the time you need, but at the end of the day, if you decide to lock in on it, then, good luck to you. And I really hope it does work out.
Absolutely. Dude, I appreciate you sharing that in terms of like really breaking down the transparent look behind the scenes. And I guess just to be putting it out there as well, like Jermaine is not one of those guys who will come in and just say they're going to do something. Like he came in guns blazing, he did the work, he learned all the skill sets, and he actually committed to the idea of like getting out there because like there's a lot of insecurities and a lot of like, I guess just self-doubt in the beginning when you come to making content, making ads, making all this thing happen. But like, the point is, like, as long as you're a good coach, as long as you believe in what you do, like you are genuinely providing good results for your clients, this is a program for you. And we're not here to make any income claims because we don't know who the fuck you are. And more importantly, we don't know how much work you're going to put into like getting the results that you want to get. So if you are hungry and if you want to go ahead and build something worth owning, like what Jermaine is doing over here, because I'm like, it's really exciting because when spring comes around for you, it'll be like a walk in the park now that you have the personal brand built out and now that you have your ads cranking. I guess for you, what's the next step? What's the long-term vision look like?
Um, 10K a month.
You're close.
I'll just throw out the figure. It's 10K a month. I'm so locked in on that figure. The only, I guess, challenge I would have, if you can even call it a challenge, is maybe how I'm gonna schedule all of these clients. If like, let's say like they want like weekend lessons.
Hmm.
I like having free time, so I don't know if I'm gonna be. I don't want to be working 7 days a week either, right? So it's pretty much about finding, um, like giving myself a day off, maybe a day or two. Because right now I am working like 7 days a week pretty much. Um, but the money is coming in. That is like guaranteed. Money's coming in. Um, so I'm hoping by next summer I can get to like that 8 to 10K figure. I'm aiming for 10. I'm just gonna say it. I'm aiming for 10. And if I can get to 10, I'm just gonna say, honestly, job well done. I'm gonna take Mo out to a drink. It is what it is. And yeah, I've hit my goal. I can finally, at least take a week vacation and like pat myself on the back and said, good job, Jermaine, you did it. And then come back and get back to work. I want to build a business. It is what it is.
Yeah, dude, absolutely pleasure having you on here. And I can't wait for you to take me out on those drinks because at the end of the day, you are right there. Like you already at that 2K a week run rate, which means as long as you're able to go ahead and retain your clients and keep running your ads, it's only a matter of time before you hit 10, cross 15, and then eventually transitions to like group coaching and like having your own things on the side. And I guess any final thoughts, anything that you want to share to anyone who's like considering doing this kind of on the edge? Maybe they watched like four client interviews like you did and still kind of unsure of whether they should pull the trigger. what would you tell that person?
Um, Ask yourself if you are if you are a first off, if you are confident in your ability to teach or coach, number one. Number two, ask yourself how big of a businessman you are, how independent you are as a person, because I'm a very independent person, right? Which is why I committed to this and I'm able to make it work because I don't like working for other people. I don't, right? I like doing my own thing. I like having my own schedule, setting my own hours. I love having that freedom, right? If you want to give yourself that freedom, if you are that type of person just like me, um, you know, take a chance on it, I would say. It seems very scary. It is very scary when you first get started. Um, but like again, like I said, I was in the same position as whoever is gonna watch this video is right now. Um, and again, if you need some extra conversations or convincing or information or whatever, reach out to me. Like you can talk to your family, your girlfriend, whatever. I did all of that, all of the above. You can reach out to me, someone who's in the program already. And I will, you know, give you all the information that you need. And if you're still having doubts, then that's okay, right? Then it's maybe not for you. But if it is for you, then, you know, let's get to work.
Dude, that's so well said. I'm gonna attach your Instagram in the description below this video for anyone who has any questions for you. Once again, bro, thank you for being here. You're an absolute beast. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do in the summer. And if you're a sports coach and you're watching this video and you want more help growing your private training business, click that first link in the description below to book a call with our team to see if we can help you do the same thing. And Jermaine, once again, thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.